Hi, this is Tarot Off the Cuff, and my name is Kevin Quigley. Janis Garan comes to the tarot from a career in information technology. She believes in personal empowerment and clear vision. She also is the creator of the Tarot Salon Detroit, which gives tarot readers a venue to come together, share their skills and stories, in addition to giving her an excuse to bake lots of cookies for large groups of people.
Hi everybody, this is Janis Garan and welcome to Tarot Off the Cuff. So, one of the previous episodes that I've recorded had to do with the structure of a tarot reading. What do you say at the beginning? What do I say as a professional at the beginning of a reading to give the reading some bones, some structure to hang off of? It occurred to me that I should probably do a kind of a part 2, although this does stand on its own. How do we end a tarot reading? But, of course, because it's Tarot Off the Cuff, we are going to pull a card. I'm using the same deck as I used last time, the Golden Visconti Tarot, which I love because it's sparkly and shiny. It's a majors only deck, so the first 22 cards in the deck, the Fool to the World. I'm shuffling up as we speak. You may be able to hear that or not. But I always like, for the purposes of Tarot Off the Cuff, to do this so that you can see that this is totally random. I am not picking which card I'm choosing in advance. So this is going to be off the cuff, even though I have an idea about what I'd like to talk about. We'll see what the cards want to add to it or what spin they want me to put on it. All right. What do these listeners most need to know about when it comes to the structure of a reading, especially the ending of a tarot reading? Well, of course, Lovers, reversed. I am going to read it right side up. And see, we have that sparkly, beautiful gilding on the deck. Here's what I want to say. I'm not going to go into the meaning of the Lovers card, except to say this. One of the meanings is choice. Of course, you have a choice about how you structure your readings as a reader. And know that if you're not a reader and you just go to see readers, that everybody's going to have a different structure that works for them. So not all readings are the same. Honestly, let me point out the blindfolded cherub up here. Sometimes I don't know how a reading's going to end. So it's not like, okay, not like I have a formula. The only formula I have is if somebody has purchased a certain length of reading, I leave time at the end where I actually set a timer, and it will go off early before our time is over, for me to check in with the person to see if they have any follow-up questions, topics, anything we didn't cover. Now, as a beginning reader, I used to make the mistake of just setting the timer like, 2, 3, 4 minutes early, maybe 5. And when it rang, saying, okay, so we have about 2 minutes left. And then what by accident would come out of my mouth, is there anything we haven't looked at today that you'd like me to? No, don't do it. Don't do it, Janis. Because the phrasing, anything we have not looked at, opens the door for a completely new topic, which may not take 2 minutes. In fact, once a client sees how you work, they've been with you for the 25 minutes, the 50 minutes, whatever it is, and they become more trustful of you. Oh my God, this person does know what they're talking about. Or how'd she know that? That was incredible. Now they're racking their brain for, oh, maybe she can tell me about my mom, my sister, my husband's job. I wasn't going to ask that, but holy cow, she picked up on my brother-in-law's job. I might as well ask her about my husband's. So at the end of a reading, leave either adequate time to say, is there anything we haven't covered that you were hoping to? Or if you're giving yourself like 2-minute notice, 3-minute notice, do not say anything we have not covered. That's a tip from me, from hard experience. Nowadays, I set my timer 10 minutes early in a half-hour reading. In a 15-minute reading, I would not set it 10 minutes early. I set it 5 minutes early, so that while we are talking, when the timer goes off, I have an adequate amount of time to say to the person, and I'll be specific. At the beginning of a half-hour reading, I'll say, so I'm going to set a timer for 20 minutes. That'll keep me on track and give us time to talk about anything that comes up at the end of the reading. Then at the end of the reading, when the timer goes off, so that's our 20 minutes, I'm going to reset this for 10, and I do use my phone as a timer, so, I pick that back up, I'm resetting it to 10. If you give yourself 10 minutes, you can say something like, are there any topics we have not covered that you'd like me to? Or, of course, if you don't want to say that phrase, of course, find your own way. You have choices. You could say something like, so do you have any questions or would you like further insight on anything we've already talked about? So something like that. I have something that I say all the time. I don't know why it's not just spilling out of my mouth right this moment, because I said this in my first video about the beginning of a reading. But if you didn't watch that, it's good. I find that it's good to have a general structure for your readings as a reader, a way that you do an introduction that's generally the same all the time, and you conduct the reading in a generally the same way all the time with the intention to cover certain topics. And again, I covered that in the past. And then ending the reading in a generally similar way. Why? Because it helps you as a reader do what you do. It helps you wrap up one reading, and then it helps you open up the next reading without bringing the energy of the previous reading with you. So this is in particular good for people who are doing back-to-back readings, or working events, parties, agency events, all my high school parties, whatever. Ooh, something popped into my head and left again. Sure, look at this. No matter how the reading went, unless you felt it went horribly, and then that's another conversation. There have been times where I do not feel I'm connecting with somebody, and but I'm not going to talk about that right now. I'll make myself a note to talk about that at some time in the future. Because what do you do if you're not connecting, right? Readers are here to help. I mean, at least all the readers I know. And if we're not able to connect for somebody, which happens, then how do we address it so that everybody leaves feeling good enough about what happened during the reading? Okay. Greeting your client and saying goodbye to your client. This is a human who has entrusted sometimes their secrets, sometimes their important questions, sometimes their hopes and dreams to you. That's sacred space, according to me. What a gift. What a responsibility. I mean, I have fun in readings. I do tell people to, take readings lightly. Like, I'm not God. I think we could all agree on that, right? So readings are fun, but readings are serious. They can be wonderful. They can be whatever your client is willing for them to be, and whatever you are able as a reader to provide. But always leave on a cordial, hopeful, thankful note. What do I mean by that? We may have been talking all about how you are taking care of young kids and your aging mother, and then you just found out your partner has, cheated on you or spent your life savings, or, usually readings are not that dramatic, thank goodness, but people have stuff that happens in their life. How do we wrap up a reading that honors the person, thanks. Thank you for being here. You don't have to say, I'm honored that you came to see me. I don't think I say that. But with your actions, with your words, with your tone, you are telling people a myriad things. So I'm so glad you came in today. Acknowledge the reality of the situation. I'm so sorry you're going through such a difficult period. That's never fun. I mean, relate. We're human. My life hasn't always been a bowl of cherries, right? You get that occasional pit. Sorry, my intuition is having a conversation with me, but I want to get back to the structure of what I was going to tell you. Let people know that if they would find it helpful, that they know where to find you. I'd love to see you again and talk about this and that, or and see how things are going. So it's not just business, like hoping to get a repeat client. Oh, you should see me in the next 6 weeks because I want to make more money. No, I mean, maybe from a business perspective, yes, but from an ethical perspective, if you'd like to come see me again, I would love to hear how things are going. If you have any questions, hey, when this situation changes, if you take any of the actions we've talked about, or things what we've talked about, and you act on them, and you want like a follow-up, where do you go from there? I'd love to be there for you if you'd like, the assistance I can provide. The other thing is, especially because I use the example of difficult readings, leave on a positive note. Even if it sucks, boy, you're sure going through a tough time at the moment, but as we talked about, and then talk about that light at the end of the tunnel. Even if you didn't see a light, I'm not saying don't make it up, but if you didn't see a light, at least give a time frame. It looks like this difficulty may continue for the next, if you're able to do timing with your tarot. If you're not, that, take a class, look into that. But sometimes that's enough. If somebody knows, like, all right, this difficult time at work, my boss is going to get off my case or whatever in about 2 weeks, 2 months, even though that seems long from now, if that was happening to me and I knew it hadn't like an end date or an expiration date, it would just give me a little bit of peace of mind. So sometimes the best we can say is, and based on the facts that you saw in the reading, not just blowing smoke at people, you're strong. I mean, look right here, point at a card. I can see how strong you are, or look how nurturing you are. You've got this. And honestly, when things are good, celebrate with your clients and tell them what a good job they're doing or how they're managing things. Like, how often in our life do we have somebody look at us and honestly reflect who we are, especially in a positive way? So that's an opportunity as well. I feel like these two are they may be getting ready to dance. They may be hand fasting. They may be ready to get married. Looks like they're ready to be hit with Cupid's bow. But one way or another, the interaction between these two people has the opportunity to change one or both of them. And why can't that be for the better? It should be able to be. So if you're a reader, find a way to wrap up your readings that leaves everybody feeling good, no matter what was good enough, right? No matter what came up in the reading. And that is my Tarot 2 cents for the day. So thank you for joining me, Janis Garan, with Tarot Off the Cuff. I wish you the best, and tarot on.
Hi, thanks for watching. This is Kevin Quigley with Tarot Off the Cuff. If you can take a second, click the subscribe button down below. That'll let you know when a new video is posted and you might want to jump over and watch it. If you hit the thumbs up for the videos that you really like, that will help spread the word so new people will find Tarot Off the Cuff in their feed, and that helps the channel grow. That would be great. And if you got a question or a comment, positive or negative, whether you agree or disagree, or if you want to add information or your own take on a particular card or a particular topic, put a comment down below. We would love to hear from you. Thanks so much.